Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends. Welcome to another edition of Magic the Gathering Market Watch. This week we're going to look at the Impact of Modern Masters 2015 release, which at the time of this recording is releasing today on the market. And as always, we'll also look at some of our standard cards that are moving both directions, hot and cold, for the week. So let's get started. First, let's look at the top three standard cards that have lost value this week. And number three is Stormbreath Dragon, which is now at $14.09, but this week it lost $1.07. And that makes sense. We're getting closer and closer to this card edging out a standard. I don't know if it sees much modern play. I haven't really seen it. I'm sure there's a couple builds out there that try to make use of it, but I haven't seen it excessively out there modern. But it's still a good card. I'm sure casual players will still utilize it. I could see it making its way definitely into some Commander Dragon decks, things of that nature. So I don't think the card will completely fall off, but I think it will see more of a loss as we get closer to it leaving the standard rotation. Next is Ugin the Spirit Dragon. Ugin's still up at $30.43, but he did lose $1.56 this week, and I think this is probably just normal stabilization. Ugin has found a home in some Tron decks in Modern. Standard, he has found a home in some standard decks, but in the recent format since Dragons of Tarkir has come out and kind of sped things up a little bit, I haven't seen Ugin in as many standard builds, and that's probably why he has had a little bit of a downturn. And finally, the card that lost the most value in Standard this week, and it seems like it's every week, is Narset Transcendent, and she's now down to $21.34, losing another $1.59. Now, this decrease is a lot less than it's been over the last few weeks, so it makes me feel like she's finally stabilizing, but she probably will continue to fall maybe into the $15 to $18 range before she finally does stabilize. And just like we mentioned in previous weeks, the main reason is there was just super hype around this card prior to the release of Dragons of Tarkir, and it's not a bad card. It sees some standard play in the right decks, of course, but it's just not what it was hyped to be, originally being sold as a $50 pre-release card. This is just it falling to its proper spot. Now let's take a look at the top three standard cards that have gained value this week. And we start with Den Protector. And this card's been hot for a couple weeks now. It's up to $9.93. It's seen an increase of $1.12 within the last 7 days. And it's just a fine card. It's just Eternal Witness for, well, one more mana. But it's fantastic, and it's going to be used in definitely in Standard. Now, sure, in Modern, you have Eternal Witness, so you might not need this card, but definitely, as long as this is in Standard, it's going to be hot. The only thing I caution for long-term collectability, I feel once this starts to rotate out of Standard, it's probably going to lose a lot of its value, so it's not a card you necessarily want to speculate on, but it is a card you may need for some of your Standard decks. Next is Collected Company, and this has gone up $1.83, and it's seeing a lot of play, especially in the last couple weeks. It's been seeing a lot of play in Standard. It's even crossed over now into Modern. This card potentially could be a staple, and it also has a lot of implications for even Commander decks, Tiny Leaders decks. I think it could be huge in there. So this is going to cross over into different formats. Watch this one. This might be the time, if you haven't already picked some of these up, this might be the time to do it. And again, for I think the second or third week in a row, Death Mist Raptor is the number one climbing standard card. And this is up to $25.66, increasing $2.01 in the last 7 days. So he continues to stabilize right around the $25 to $28 range. I think that's probably where he's going to sit. I don't think he's going to go too much higher than that. But obviously the appeal of him is he can be used in any color deck, and he's a very powerful creature, and he can be used very economically. So he's going to make his way into multiple standard decks. There's some potential there for Modern as well. Now let's go on to Modern, and of course Modern Masters 2015 is releasing today, so there are some impacts. However, I was a little surprised that for the most part the movement was rather conservative compared to the weeks leading up to the release. So let's take a look at the top three cards that have lost value this week. And number three is Linvala, Keeper of Silence. And this one surprised me a little bit just because she was not reprinted in Modern Masters. However, I think the speculation is so strong that she's going to be in from the Vault Angels that she's starting to take an impact to her price. But she's still $38.37. She did lose $2.32 this week. Number two is Splinter Twin, and this one makes a little more sense. This was a rare originally in Rise of the Eldrazi. It's being reprinted in Modern Masters 2015, again as a rare, and it's still 1865, which is substantial for this type of card, but it has gone down $2.40. Now, obviously, this is a modern staple, arguably maybe the best, most powerful deck in modern. So there's a lot of players that are going to want to get copies of these, but the hope is Modern Masters 2015 will provide enough product out there to fill that demand. And it looks like all indications so far point that to the fact that Modern Masters 2015 is doing a much better job of getting out into people's hands than the original Modern Masters. And I think I mentioned in another video that, I mean, just look at Star City Games. If you wanted to pre-order a box of Modern Masters, the original one, it was $300. This time it's $250 from them, and that's just one example. But you're kind of seeing that across the board. That's a $50 cut, and the MSRP is actually higher than it was for the original one. So hopefully these will get out there and the price will continue to fall. And our number one card that lost value this week from Modern was Tarmogoyf, and yeah, Future Sight Tarmogoyf continues to take a hit, although it only lost $2.50 this week, which is a lot less than we've been seeing it drop during the whole speculation and set review season. It was dropping sometimes $8 to $10 a week, so it starts to feel like this is starting to stabilize. It's still 170, 174. My hope is once people start to feel that the product is getting out there, people are opening Tarmogoyfs, they're finding them easier, they're able to trade for them. Hopefully this will start to fall again. And now let's look at the top three modern cards that gain value this week. And starting with number three is Goblin Guide. And again, this makes sense. He's $21.09, but he's gone up $1.30 because he was not reprinted in Modern Masters. A lot of speculation that he is going to show up in Battle for Zendikar, or at least that block, which could very well happen. This could be he was a Zendikar card. This could be kind of the Thoughtseize of that block to kind of get some interest with modern players and get that reprint out there, but who's to say for sure? There's also a possibility they're just holding him for a judge's promo or something like that. Who knows? So it's hard to speculate on something like that. If he's going to show up in Battle for Zendikar, he's probably not a good card to speculate on. But if he doesn't, he's going to continue to go up in price. Number two is Collected Company, and I mentioned earlier, this is seeing some modern play. It's definitely showing up in things like Modern Sliver Deck, which this card is basically making the Modern Sliver Deck a deck now, and which is actually pretty interesting. So who knows? A lot of potential here. Like I mentioned earlier, if you haven't picked these up yet, it's only $9.04 right now, but it has increased $1.83 this week, so it might be time to do it. And our number one mover in Modern is Death Mist Raptor, and that's simply because there hasn't been a whole lot of movement upwards in Modern this week, and probably partially due to the Modern Masters release. But Death Mist Raptor 2566 has gone up $2.01. This is mostly due to Standard, but it is a Modern legal card, and basically no other Modern cards moved more than $2.01 this week. So having said that, that concludes the Market Watch for this week. Thanks for watching as always. Hey, please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day.